I was paged last night. Page came from your dad's office at the arcade.
Good evening. Our lead story, Encom CEO and video game icon Kevin Flynn, has disappeared.
2 nights before he disappeared, he came to my house. I've cracked it, he kept saying. He was talking about genetic algorithms, quantum teleportation. He said he was about to change everything, science, medicine, religion. He wouldn't have left that, Sam. He wouldn't have left you.
Long time. You have no idea. We can go home. Don't you want that?
Sometimes life has a way of moving you past things like wants and hopes.
Out there is a new world! Out there is our victory! Out there is our destiny.
The guy doesn't dig imperfection. What's more imperfect than our world? I can't let that happen. I won't.
So what do? Nothing.
It's amazing how productive doing nothing can be.
You move, Flynn. Come on. Come on. Created the perfect system.
The thing about perfection is that it's unknowable. It's impossible, but it's also right in front of us all the time. You wouldn't know that because I didn't when I created You are Clue. I am Clue. You will create the perfect system. I will create the perfect system. Why? He's my son. Goodbye, kiddo.
A decade after its release, this film continues to resonate with an energy that feels undiminished by time. Its staying power lies not simply in its visual spectacle, but in the thematic core that drives it. A meditation on the pursuit of perfection, the cost of ambition, and the fragile bonds between father and son. Beneath its luminous surfaces, the story is an elegy for sacrifice, set against the hum of a world where the digital and the human are inseparably entwined. From its earliest moments, the film shapes its atmosphere with precision. The youthful image of Kevin Flynn, Jeff Bridges rendered in digital youth, ushers us into this universe with a sense of wonder, shadowed by mystery. The arrival of Daft Punk's score is not an accessory, but a structural element. Each beat is timed to the rhythm of the narrative, giving the film a pulse that is both mechanical and human. The first act, set before our entry into the grid, moves like a measured overture, a carefully staged prelude in which tone, character, and stakes are quietly established. The introductory heist sequence captures this balance perfectly. Bathed in the cool glow of city lights, it channels the spirit of 1980s cinema, precise, self-assured, and steeped in a nostalgic texture. Here we meet Sam Flynn, whose life has become a pattern of solitary defiance. His actions that night reveal both his resourcefulness and his distance from the corporate empire his father once envisioned.
Why? This is your father's company.
Not anymore.
Encom Encom, now an engine of profit without vision.
Tonight, I am pleased to announce that Encom's last fiscal year was our most profitable ever.
Stands as a silent indictment of Kevin's absence.
The idea of sharing our software or giving it away for free disappeared with Kevin Flynn.
A presence that haunts every choice Sam makes.
Okay, boys. You got me.
There is levity in these moments, a fleeting joy in Sam's calculated mischief, as though this annual act of rebellion is the only time he allows himself to inhabit his father's legacy.
Why are you in my apartment, Alan?
The connection between Sam and Alan deepens this undercurrent.
How you been, Sam?
Alan's quiet guidance carries the weight of both loyalty to Kevin
He wouldn't have left that, Sam.
and an unspoken paternal care for Sam.
He wouldn't have left you.
Alan, you're the only one who still believes that.
It is through Alan that we led to the fateful scene in the long-abandoned arcade.
Here. These are the keys to the arcade. I haven't gone over there yet. I thought you should be the one.
Alan, you're acting like I'm gonna find him sitting there working. Just, hey, kiddo, lost track of time.
Wouldn't that be something?
The arcade itself feels like a sealed memory. Dust settled over the cabinets, lights dormant since the late 80s, yet still charged with the presence of its absent owner. The musical selection here, a synthesis of period authenticity and modern arrangement, bridges the years in an instant. It tells us, without words, that this is not simply a location, but a threshold. Crossing into the grid is a narrative acceleration. The film shifts from a steady, grounded pace to an unbroken forward momentum. From the moment Sam materializes within this world, the story ceases to pause. The desk battle, the light cycle arena, the pursuit toward the portal, all flow in a seamless continuum. Each sequence is meticulously staged, yet never interrupts the momentum. The film feels as though it is carrying us across a single, unbroken breath. This is where its craft becomes most evident. The plot unfolds as a continuous movement, like a composition in which every measure leads inevitably to the next. It is not simply action for its own sake, but a carefully arranged progression in which each event deepens the stakes and draws the characters toward the emotional reckoning at its core. The experience is less like watching a series of scenes and more like traversing a single sustained arc, an immersion that holds until the final frame. What strikes me most about this film is its unwavering sense of identity. Every element, the architecture of its digital landscapes, the precision of its costume design, the eccentricity of its characters, moves in concert toward a singular vision. The world it creates is heightened and improbable, yet unified by an artistic discipline that makes it feel inevitable. This cohesion is not accidental. It is the product of an unmistakable care from those who built it, a shared belief in the value of the story being told.
It's always interesting to me where directors come from. In Joe's case, he's coming from architecture. He's an architect. And so the world of Tron has this reality to it that's very grounded.
The craft reveals itself most clearly in the film's set pieces. The arena duels, the velocity of the light cycle battles, the surreal opulence of the end-of-line club. Each is constructed with a deliberate rhythm, balancing spectacle with narrative purpose. And yet, none of those moments exist in isolation. They're bound together by the one element that gives the film its enduring pulse: the score. Daft Punk's music is not mere accompaniment, it is the film's bloodstream, circulating tone and emotion through every scene. Its composition layers the film's digital textures with a thematic range that spans mystery, grandeur, intimacy, and exhilaration. It bridges the technological precision of the grid with the human urgency at its core, carrying us through the journeys of Kevin, Sam, Cora, Clue, and Tron, with the seamlessness rarely achieved in genre cinema. Nowhere is this synthesis of music, design, and storytelling more fully realized than in this climactic sequence. Following Kevin's last quiet moment, the group's escape is violently interrupted, pulling them into a confrontation that echoes the highs that open the film. Except this time, the stakes extend far beyond corporate sabotage. The tension builds gradually, underscored by musical motifs first introduced earlier in the narrative. A slow, deliberate tempo gives way to an urgent progression, mirroring the shift from careful strategy to desperate action. Thematically, this finale crystallizes ideas that have been seeded throughout the film. Kevin's earlier reflection on removing oneself from the equation returns with renewed weight, now reframed through the urgency of protecting his son.
Cora, there is no choice. I won't lose him again. Kevin Flynn! Where are you now?
Clue's rallying speech, delivered with the conviction of a leader who believes himself righteous, recalls Kevin's own youthful ambition.
Out there is a new world! Out there is our victory! Out there is our destiny.
Two visions of the same dream, distorted by opposing philosophies. The parallel is not simply intellectual, it is embodied in the visual contrast between the elder Flynn and his digital double, as though father and son are trapped between two iterations of the same man. Amid this ideological clash, the emotional heart of the film beats louder. Sam's pursuit of the identity disc is not just an act of survival, it is the culmination of a lifetime marked by absence. The urgency in its movements carries the weight of a child's grief transformed into resolve. The score swelled into its most hopeful register, not with triumphant certainty, but with the fragile exhilaration of a moment that might finally restore what was lost. When Sam secures the disc, the scene pivots, the action remains fierce, but the tone shifts towards something almost celebratory, a brief recognition between father and son that speaks more than words could. In that instant, Kevin sees his son achieve the impossible.
Radical, man.
And Sam sees the man his father once was.
Try and hold on to this. You're gonna need it.
Both aware that this moment is fleeting, the closing confrontation gathers every thread the film has woven, the spectacle of the grid, the philosophical duel at its center, and the emotional reckoning between parent and child. It is a conclusion that does not simply resolve the plot, but fulfills the film's thematic promise in a single resonant gesture. Much of the criticism aimed at this film has focused on its writing. The visual design, the soundscape, and the world building often escape reproach, yet the script is frequently seen as its weakest element. Even the digital recreations of Kevin Flynn and Clue, remarkable achievements for 2010, are sometimes treated as flaws, though they stand as ambitious artifacts of their era. For me, the narrative is not a shortcoming, but the foundation that gives these images their enduring resonance. It is a story that may not seek profound philosophical density, yet it leaves behind clear thematic imprints, ideas that remain in the mind long after the final frame fades. At its heart, the film is a meditation on creation and consequence. In Cora, Kevin discovers something beyond his own capacity to design, a being born not of his intention but of the grid itself, carrying within her the possibility to bridge worlds. She embodies the film's quiet miracle, an unplanned emergence that suggests new horizons for science, art, and human understanding. In contrast, Clue represents the opposite, a perfect replication of Kevin's will, crafted to fulfill a singular vision of order. Over time, that creation sharpens into opposition, reflecting back only the most rigid, untempered parts of its maker. This duality finds its clearest expression in Kevin's own words, when he describes Clue's plan for the outside world.
Clue was my creation, a program designed to create a perfect world.
The scope of his original ambition comes into focus. Faced with an imperfect reality, he sought to construct a flawless one, a system untouched by human error.
Guy doesn't dig imperfection. What's more imperfect than our world?
In the film's closing moments, the symmetry completes itself. Kevin confronts Clue not as a separate entity, but as a younger self.
I did everything! Everything you ever asked! I know you did.
An embodiment of ideals untested by experience. His final act is both an apology and a release, spoken not only to his creation, but to the man he once was.
I created the perfect system! The thing about perfection is that it's unknowable. It's impossible, but it's also right in front of us all the time. You wouldn't know that because I didn't when I created you. I'm sorry, Clue. I'm sorry.
Yet, the deeper current running through this confrontation is personal, not ideological. All the promise of technological revolution, the potential to reshape existence itself, is set aside in a single admission to Sam.
Sam, I'd have given it all up for one more day with you.
The perfection Kevin spent a lifetime seeking was never in code or circuitry. It was in the son whose life he had missed. For Sam, every moment on the grid has been driven by one purpose: to bring his father home. The determination is absolute, but Kevin's own bearing often carries a quiet resignation, as though he has long known the final outcome would require him to face Clue at the cost of his own return. This inevitability becomes most poignant in the film's final movement. After Tron's sacrifice and his defiant declaration,
I fight for the users.
there's a fleeting look on Kevin's face, a spark of hope that perhaps the cycle can end and the return home might still be possible. That hope dissolves in the closing exchange between father and son.
Sam! It's time! No!
Sam, it's what he wants.
I'm not leaving you!
Kevin's pride distilled into the simple, unguarded exclamation.
Why? He's my son!
Followed by the farewell that ends their story.
Goodbye, kiddo.
In that instant, the loss is felt on both sides. For the father who twice loses his child, and for the son who has finally found his father only to see him vanish once again. The return to the real world is quiet, but purposeful. Sam's reunion with Alan carries the weight of unspoken gratitude, a confirmation that Alan's faith in Kevin was never misplaced. And beside him, Cora steps into sunlight for the first time, her gaze meeting a world that she has only heard described. It is a final image that closes the circuit between two realities, not with the perfection Kevin's once sought, but with the imperfect living beauty of possibility. Beneath its glowing surfaces and kinetic battles, the film is concerned with a question that has echoed through human history. Can perfection exist? And if so, should it be pursued? On the grid, this question is not abstract. It is the governing principle of Kevin Flynn's creation, embodied in Clue's relentless mission to impose order. Yet, the narrative makes clear that the pursuit of perfection, when untempered by compassion, becomes its own form of imprisonment. Clue's flaw is not in his logic, but in his inability to recognize that life's vitality springs from its unpredictability. In contrast, Cora represents the unplanned and the imperfect, the unpredictable emergence of something Kevin could neither design nor control. Her existence challenges the notion that perfection is achieved through meticulous construction. Instead, she suggests that meaning lies in what is discovered rather than what is built. A truth that Kevin comes to recognize too late to reclaim the years he lost. The film's philosophical undercurrent is subtle but persistent. The grid, for all its beauty, is sterile, a place without weather, without seasons, without the small, unnoticed variations that give the real world its depth. It is a visual metaphor for Clue's worldview, a realm where every edge is sharpened, every system regulated. Yet, the more complete the control, the more fragile the world becomes, unable to adapt to the unexpected. Kevin's journey is ultimately one of surrender, not defeat. His decision to remove himself from the equation is the final rejection of his earlier ideology, an acknowledgement that to preserve what is truly valuable to him, that is his son's life, Cora's freedom, he must relinquish his role as architect. In doing so, he affirms that no system, however flawless in conception, can rival the imperfect connections that bind people to one another. For Sam, the journey is different. He enters the grid seeking a father and leaves with something more enduring, an understanding of what his father valued most in the end. That was him. The act of bringing Cora into the real world is not only a gift to her, but a continuation of Kevin's truest legacy, a belief that the unknown is not to be feared, but embraced. The film closes on an image that encapsulates this shift. Cora's first sunrise. It is a moment without spectacle, yet charged with significance, utter significance. In her silent awe, we are reminded the search for perfection often blinds us to the beauty that already exists. The grid promised control, the real world offers possibility. And in that possibility lies the most human of truths, that imperfection is not a flaw in the system, but the very reason life is worth living. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please consider leaving a like if you enjoyed it, and share it with anyone else you think would enjoy it as well. Start a conversation by sharing your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe if you're interested in watching more videos like this. Once again, thank you so much for watching.